If you are looking for some support for current affairs, if you are a fresher, you are a working professional, you are a repeater, but you want some support for current affairs, then I have a program for you. I have given the brochure and also the announcement video link in the description. You can watch if you are interested. Hello all, welcome back to Current Affairs Hitlist series. I am Guna Mathivanan from Office's IAS Academy. In today's video, we are going to discuss about AT1 bond. Before explaining about AT1 bond, let me first explain about perpetual bond. Perpetual bond. See, if you take a regular bond, there will be an amount which will be mentioned, interest will be mentioned, tenure will be mentioned. But if it is going to be a perpetual bond where amount will be mentioned, interest will be mentioned, but tenure will not be mentioned, there will be no tenure. These bonds these are bonds without maturity period. Without maturity period. That means indefinitely the bond issuer will keep paying interest. For example, if Guna was issuing 100 crores worth bond, 10% interest. Now John is purchasing this bond. John will give money to Guna. Now what Guna will do is, Guna will keep giving interest every year. Every month I will keep giving interest. For how many months, how many years, sir? Indefinitely I will keep giving. There is no maturity period. However, a call option will be given for Guna. What is that call option? So Guna, whenever he wants, he can give the money back to John and get the bond. So there is no definite time period that within 10 years it has to be given. There is no definite time period. Guna has issued this bond, John has purchased this bond, so Guna will keep giving interest every month, every year. Guna will keep giving, maybe for 10 years, 20 years, 25 years, 50 years, 100 years. Maybe after 100 years, if Guna thinks that we will stop it, then what Guna will do is, Guna will give the money back, John will give the bond back. Right? This is called as perpetual bond without a maturity period. So AT1 bond is a perpetual bond. AT1 bond is a perpetual bond which is issued by banks. Banks to shore up their tier 1 capital, to improve their tier 1 capital. Tier 1 capital means what? Tier 1 capital refers to bank's most safest capital. That is, for example, the promoter's capital. If I am starting a bank as a promoter, I have to bring my money. Similarly, banks, by issuing the shares, they raise money. This money is not depositors' money. This is not depositors' money. It is called as tier 1 capital. Put it simply, most safest capital. So the banks should have adequate tier 1 capital. Sometimes the tier 1 capital can go down, it can increase. So whenever banks needs to expand their tier 1 capital, they will issue a bond called as AT1 bond, additional tier 1 bond. So banks will issue this bond, let us say 100 crores, 10% interest. Usually the interest will be high. Right? So if someone is buying this bond, money will go to bank, the bond will go to the individual. The bank will keep giving interest regularly. It will keep indefinitely, it will keep giving interest. Whenever the bank requires, they will give the money, get the bond back. Now, what is interesting about AT1 bond is, these banks, whenever they are unable to give the interest, sometimes when the bank is not in good finance, when bank is unable to pay the interest, after getting permission from RBI, they can stop paying interest for a brief time. Maybe for 4 months, 5 months, bank will say, Guna, okay, this person is Guna, assume. Guna, I'm sorry, for next 4-5 months, I will not give you interest. After RBI's consultation, or after getting permission from RBI, the bank can say that, Guna, I'm sorry, I will not pay interest, I will not pay your money also, I'm writing it off. That means entire thing is lost for Guna. Guna is giving money, got the bond. expectation, bank is going to give interest continuously for years together. Suddenly the bank can technically say, after consulting with RBI, bank can technically say that Guna, sorry, we are in bad finances, I cannot give you your money back, I am writing off, sorry. Or RBI directly can tell to Guna that, Guna, don't expect money from bank, I am writing off. So there is a risk. Usually it will not happen, but it has happened also. Few years back, Yes Bank was facing crisis. In that situation, RBI said we are writing off the AT1 bonds. So there is a risk involved. There is a risk involved. Since the risk is involved, that is why the interest is also high. Okay, this is about AT1 bonds, which comes in news often. You should have some clarity on what is this AT1 bond. Clear?